Hey everyone, David Chen here. Let's talk about the 2020 Emmy nominations, which were just released this morning. I'm going to share my personal big surprises, big takeaways, things I really appreciated, as well as things I was disappointed by. But of course, that's just my personal opinion. Would love to hear what you have to say about the 2020 Emmy nominations. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know your big takeaways. But let's begin, shall we? The first big takeaway is all your Emmys are belong to Netflix. Netflix scored 160 nominations, which is just a massive, staggering amount. It's even more than they had last year, which was 118. So it's like a huge increase. Emily Vanderwerf over at Vox.com did a good comparison. She said, don't compare Netflix to a Disney Plus or an HBO because really what Netflix is a studio rather than a single TV network. So really what you should do is compare ABC and FX networks and Hulu and ESPN and National Geographic and Disney Channel and Disney Plus and compare that to Netflix. And even if you do that, that is still 126 nominations that Disney has compared to 160 for Netflix. So they are just running away with the game right now. And it is pretty incredible how quickly the balance of power has shifted. I mean, 15 years ago, Netflix wasn't making shows. And now they have 160 nominations. So the wins in the television industry are changing really rapidly. Streamers are super dominant, and I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. My second takeaway is Watchmen. I mean, this was the big winner in terms of a specific show. 26 nominations, including Best Limited Series, Best Directing for multiple episodes, and Best Acting nods for Regina King, Jeremy Irons, Gene Smart, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I loved Watchmen. I think if you were to rewatch Watchmen again with everything that's happened since that show was released, it would feel extremely prescient and very relevant today. Not only did it manage to respect and honor the events of the classic graphic novel by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, but it also expanded the universe. It extended the timeline to the present day. It made you think about what are the implications of what happened in that graphic novel? How would it reverberate throughout society that we know, that we might find somewhat recognizable? And it's super relevant in terms of its take on law enforcement and its relationship to race in America. I cannot recommend the show enough, and I would recommend you check it out. And I think it's super worthy of its 26 nominations. Third thing is I want to talk about a few other big winners of the day. You got Marvelous Mrs. Maisel with 20 nominations, Ozark with 18 nominations, Succession with 18 nominations. Now, those are all great shows. I'm obviously a huge fan of Maisel. Ozark is a show that I have on occasion enjoyed, although I'm more of in a love-hate relationship with it after season 3. But really, I'm rooting for Succession, which has my number one boy, Kendall. It's probably my favorite show on television right now. And it got, again, 18 nominations, including actor nominations for Jeremy Strong and Brian Cox, going up against each other. And I think that is going to be a battle for the ages, because if you haven't seen that show, it mirrors the dynamic of the show. So I'm super psyched for all of those shows, but especially interested to see how the Academy does or does not recognize Succession. And if you haven't seen Succession yet, or Maisel or Ozark, you got to check those out on HBO, Netflix, and Amazon Prime Video. Fourth thing I want to mention is big surprises. I would say Morning Show scored 8 nominations, and Mandalorian scored 15 nominations, including Best Drama, which I just have to say, Mandalorian is a lot of things. Best drama, I am pretty stunned at that, but, good on them, good for them. And that's pretty cool that they got so many nominations right out the gate. You got Morning Show on Apple TV+, you got Mandalorian on Disney+, and these nominations show that these platforms are places where you can create serious art that is recognized by a jury of your peers. And so it took other streamers sometimes several years before they got that much recognition. So congrats to Apple TV+ and Disney+ for scoring those nominations. I mean, that's just genuinely impressive that they were able to do so. Now, it's a much crowded industry now. It's much more crowded out there in the field these days. But good on them. It's not easy to do, and congratulations to everyone involved in those shows. Fifth thing I want to talk about is we got to talk about Better Call Saul. Now, in my opinion, Better Call Saul is one of the best things on television right now. It is so good. The fifth season was its best season, and it just completely obliterated so many other shows on TV. If there was any justice, it would be like up there amongst in the upper echelons of the nominations. It wasn't a complete catastrophe. Better Call Saul did get 7 nominations, including for Best Drama, which is one of the biggest categories. But there were no directing nominations, even one for Vince Gilligan, the guy who created Breaking Bad, who did an incredible job on one of the episodes this season called Bagman. If you've seen that episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He was so good. And then, of course, there's the fact that Ray Seahorn was not nominated. Ray Seahorn plays Kim Wexler. It is one of the best realized performances on TV. It's super restrained. It's super subtle. It's not flashy. And I think that's one of the reasons, unfortunately, why people haven't given her the recognition she deserves. She is so awesome in that show. Other prequels can be like pretty fan servicey. It's like, oh, here's how this character got the jacket. Here's how that character got the ring, like that kind of thing. And the way it avoids those traps is it creates all these characters that you never met in Breaking Bad, right? And one of those characters is Kim Wexler. And the audience, myself, so many people around the world are so invested in what's going to happen to Kim Wexler. And that is because of Ray Seahorn's amazing performance. So I am pretty upset that Ray Seahorn didn't get nominated because I just want more people to recognize her work. And if you are watching this and you haven't seen Better Call Saul yet, go watch it. I think a lot of it is on Netflix in the United States. She's so good in it, and at least, you know, in your heart, you can give her the recognition she deserves. But yeah, again, wasn't a complete disaster. They did get some nominations, but they seemed to be like pretty random nominations, and the number wasn't that high. Quibi got more nominations than Better Call Saul. Quibi got more nominations than Better Call Saul. One of the, if not the best show on television. So all that's to say, the Emmy Awards are invalid and you shouldn't pay attention to them. And this video has likely been a waste of your time. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the Emmys in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, you want more commentary like this in the future, hit like, subscribe, and also make sure you hit that bell icon. That's the only way you're going to get notified whenever I make a new video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.